from the day.
You know what? I'm gonna switch right past because we have a match of Counter-Strike on our hands.
We are live. Actually, that is quite a nice change.
That was quite a nice get out of course. It's saved by Counter-Strike.
Let's just say 1.3k-ish. That's all you need, really. Come to LAN, 1.3 grand, win the finals as well. But
no expenses either, has to be said.
Yeah,
you know,
everything's
hotels.
paid for.
You really
Generally
are.
speaking, at this level, you do expect organizations to pay that stuff. But enough of that because we are going to the knife fight. Knife fight not really too important on cash. Generally see 9-6, 8-7. Sometimes though we do see the T's really taking control of the game. CT side cash can be very difficult to play when you're against strong aimers like FM.
Yeah, strong aimers, and kind of one real big point to almost be very nitpicky about is mid control for a T side. If you can take it nice and comfortably and not be contested, that right there is basically saying, okay, here's the plateau of the map. You go crazy. You have free roam up towards A and up towards B, and that pretty much relies on then you having a CT side who have these very strong and well-tested sight holds.
Mid is important because if you can open up mid and get towards highway, get that vent split in and get early into checkers, it really does change the outcome of the round. But 2 sets of nades, smoke and molly onto Neozinho, smoke and 2 flashes there, and a very default setup coming up. 1-1-3 there, 3 players playing towards B, and actually I believe, Max is hiding behind the box. You've got the player in checkers, player towards headshot, so the idea of the setup is to have that player be unexpected there, but enough of that because it is going to be the A take, and Imi actually not waiting for the retake, going fast and aggressive. Doesn't quite net any frags just yet, but has an HE grenade for that retake. Maybe that's a misbuy. Oh, has a smoke as well. I just saw that there. Didn't buy the kit. That's very. Oh, Jesp has it. Wow.
Yeah, Jesp has the kit. So it's a bit spread across the board for the CT side.
Sure.
But actually, you look at what Imi can now do with this utility. Well, it's some damage to be dunked right down with the nade. Dishes out so much to Jenko, and Stanley, the smoke going to go down as well. Another aiding factor, but it's still going to be the trade. It's not going to be so plentiful. Stanley, you talk about can he go huge? Well, there you go. Headshots. A gore for him. Pulse going to find one of his own. Lazar will step up the ante somewhat with a frag on towards Robin, but Lazar, unfortunately, mate, you're in a 1v3. Your dreams, yet again, are going to be pulled right out from under you. As FM, they get themselves a quick and not so dirty pistol round after all.
So, you're playing retake, right? That's fair game. Retake A is a strong setup, but generally what happens when you play retake A is you get aggressive towards one side of the map, B. Play passive one half, play aggressive the other half if you are playing this sort of setup. Retake towards A, Imi not having the kit that's on Jess, but the problem is when you've got 2 players without armor, a retake isn't quite the easiest thing when you are playing so close as Glocks. And you saw what happened when they all retook together. Stanley found those 2 close range frags up front, and the force buy actually coming up from Endpoint. It's only Lazar there without the armor. He shall be AWPing, leading into the first buy round. But then again, Deagle armor, 50 nades, and Robin finds the first. And actually, that's a fast refrag there from Jets. Finds another one. Can he get any more? No, he can't because Jenko and Stanley and Neozinho find the rest of the kills. 2-0 lead, and that's a very important round to not lose.
A lot of money to be made by the side of him as they get pretty much all of those frags with Mac 10s. Arguably, they also have to save those Mac 10s. Not the greatest point in the world, as one will be upgraded to a UMP off the back of what was being able to pick up in those last fleeting seconds. But at the end of the day, they still get those SMGs, and to be honest, keeping SMGs in this round, well, you go, because at the end of the day, you're making some money on these pistols.
It's all about the dollar, cash, rack it up if you can. Let's see, max of the USP. Gonna slap back into the weapon, but it doesn't matter though, because he will be domed. Stanley takes him down. Ezioing out towards the B-bomb site. Wide faces trying to get the headshot in, but oh my goodness, I said there's not really much he can do here, but does find one.
I like the fact that he sat on the site, in fairness. I actually think that's the best way he could have approached it if you want to talk about the fact that he wasn't in a position where you'd expect him to be able to get anything done. Just off the back of him sitting in that corner and just not really doing too much. Finds himself an opportunity to get a headshot.
One kill. I mean,
it's one kill, but you know, just to explain it nonetheless, it is going to be that 3-0 start for FM though. Nothing to be complaining about for them currently, as Lazar now going to be looking to bear down on towards mid with this AWP. Can he land the shot? The answer is yes. He pays a very dear price, knocked down to 12 HP.
Headshot through the wall as well.
But it's still a frag.
He got headshot there through the wall.
A kill is a kill. And a USP is apparently a USP. Look at Neil.
Wait, what? That can't be right.
Now that's a confusing blow. That's got to be a bug. Surely Neil is not just running around the map with a USB in his back pocket.
Way. What is that?
Maybe did he throw his AK over to the corner? I don't know. Imi and Max, they're going to combine. 1-for-1 for them is going to be the aim of the game. And Jenko going to try and throw a bit of a wrench in the works, but will achieve. But unable to really get too much out of it, as it's still going to be a 2v4. And we find ourselves sat back at the box of the A site with a bomb perched over in main. Neil trying to be the man to open up the can of worms.
Problem
highway,
is,
but he is being sandwiched.
they know where he is, gets one, but can't quite get that spray transfer there. Luzzer is low HP though, but Jenko has an orb, so that low HP doesn't really make too much of a difference. And re-peeking into Luzzer is not a good idea because Luzzer does find that frag. 2 for him that round, great round there. I mean, Robin really should have won that.
Yeah, Neil loves himself a subway, just getting sandwiched completely up towards highway, and from there, of course, not really too much that can be done.
£7 Subway. It's actually £9 actually.
True story. Land confirmed.
Yeah, advertised as £7, but you know what? It's what it is. Can't complain too much.
It's all about the subways, boys. Imi
So,
gonna try and drop down over towards the B site. Try and look for this quick pick, and unfortunately, nothing's really gonna go his direction. The pick is gonna be taken from the T side, but the peak that, well, he's just not prepared to try and contest the Molotov to go down underneath vent, but it's all but parting gifts. It is the early round after all, and FM not really budging too much as they are going to begin a slow slog up close and personal towards B, but oh, when is the aggression going to stop?
Jesper there towards vents, finds the first, and now will fall back. The bomb is going towards the A-bomb site. Luz with the AWP is hit right now. Imi finds one through the wall onto Robin. Was that through the wall? I'm not quite too sure, but enough of that. No, it was towards B, that's my bad. Enough of that though, because Pulse peeking up towards the A site. It's all on Luz. Gets a collateral there, finds 2 frags. Can he get any more? No, he can't, but it's Max to chime in and find the final one there. 5 players stay alive. What was that?
I don't even know.
That's a wall back through the wall?
I checked the right monitor, I didn't even get to see it.
So, when I see a wallbang headshot from the CT side, Cash, right, I'm expecting that to be squeaky. Sure.
I'm looking at
through
both of them
wall,
right now,
you know?
because we don't even know where that frag came over towards B.
Just randomly through the wall.
You know what? I don't even know
weird
anymore.
round.
AWP's Endpoint, you know what to do. You've been done it once, done it twice. You just keep on doing that as they get themselves into the 6th round. FM looking to repeat aggression over towards B, see if they can get a similar reward for just how close they were able to get. But for now, it is going to be them just parting the path, so to speak, as they begin to work out, okay, where can we head towards as a group? Of course, they have got the unfortunate prospect of Jenko and Pulse on a much weaker standpoint than they used to with the Deagle and Tech9 now. Can we expect that to really play into things? Is that going to prompt FM to just be even more aggressive?
I mean, Jenko's the Deagle. The idea for this is to try and find that first frag. Obviously, if they had a full set of Tech9s on Jenko and Pulse, then maybe you could have seen Execute and a fast play come up, but you see they're going to wait for the smoke, allow Jenko to try and enter with the Deagle, see what he can do with that gun. Or just have maybe a rifle go first. If a rifle goes first, dies, have one of these players pick it up, and then it's not that bad. But Jenko getting like slightly aggressive hit. And Zio as well. Let's see what happens here. Molotov comes towards the vent. Do they know he's here though?
Certainly a tough question, but one that has been answered. Robin tries to take a battle over towards Highway, gets himself a reward in a very nice fashion, a headshot on towards Ibby. His skull left impacted with one hell of a dent at this point as the collapse on towards A is going to be ever so ready to take place. Pulse through the smoke with a Tech9 on towards Max. His value going to be absolutely ended in quick succession as Endpoint. They thought they had themselves a CT side hold on towards A, but, well, I'm sorry, you have absolutely nothing. You have no ground, have no traction. Robin over towards Carr, ready and waiting, raring to get aggressive on towards Luzzer's feet.
Ooh,
but Luzzer,
nice
he gets himself a flick that surely must have been beautiful. As that's right there as a lifeline for them to decide, okay, do we want to go for it?
But right now it's about taking guns out of the T side, okay?
Well, they don't even have time is the question.
FM's money is low. Your job right now is to try and take the guns out of the T's hands, try and force them back onto a Tech9, a Deagle here or there. And potentially, the more guns you get out now, the higher chance you have of that full harsh reset. Because right now, even if FM lose this round, you can see 4 players still alive there. They're going to have to rebuy 1, but they can still buy into the next round. That's so important because if Endpoint had a few more exit frags there, that really would have made a massive difference leading to this round. But as I said, that they're standing on 0 cash, so could play a factor leading into this one. But 4-2, the force buy going in favor of FM, and now Endpoint playing for the harsh reset. Jesper going up towards mid. Gets caught off guard though, because Jenko goes fast up mid and catches Jesper running towards the vent. Falls back. Smart play there. Doesn't have to throw away his life. Keep the one-man advantage now. Group together towards B main and execute towards B with the one-man lead.
2 teams, 2 of which with a similar concept on how they want to deal with mid, aggression, quick pace. Where does it all end up? Where is the battleground going to be set? Well, the answer, it's going to be the B site. Smoke to go down right in the face of Ezio, almost a kick right in the teeth as he's now well and truly committed to sitting tight. Could, of course, try to dive on through or perhaps head over towards pit, but the more time he spends, the harder things will get as another flash to go. We'll decide to go for a re-smoke as well, so by all means, a lot of potential for him to go huge, but that is very one and done. As a trade for FM is something they can work with. As he then relies on Lazar hitting those shots over towards the backhand of the site, as he is going to find one onto Stanley. The bomb has been dropped. That's the biting point for FM. They need a trade, but where on earth is it? It's 45 seconds on the clock. The bomb's still going to be stuck over towards Vent, and every single second wasted is every single second that FM's dreams of getting onto the site is going to be knocked down. Pegashchenko looking to be the man to be in action over towards CT. If he can find this pick, it could have been perfect, but Max, what a flick, straight on towards the head. Imi, another to build on through, a second on towards Pulse. Now looking for a third will be Robin, as he shuts down Lazar, but a third not
Imi's
quite what he will find, as Imi will claim the third for himself. And as he said, Imi, well, clearly the man in action with an AWP today. He has woken up in that 7th round.
Look at the money as well on FM. Forced to go for the force bite. AK. Neil Senior right now questioning whether to go for the nades. Actually does get dropped the AK. Sorry, doesn't get dropped the AK. We'll buy the AK and have only one flash. So, 2 sets of pistols as well for the T side. We saw them win this last time. Imi now the AWP. This is the real test. If you can hold off this squeaky push. They know he's AWPing towards A. And the idea is to jump out squeaky and swarm the AWP. But as long as the CTs have a good setup here, they should be able to hold this off.
Imi as well. This is all about that first shot. That first shot goes awry, and we could be seeing an A site somewhat lost under wraps. As FM going to be just sitting there. Bullets, they're ready to be fired from their guns, their rifles, more than happy to do the job for them. Max over towards Heaven could give away this information, but at the same time, he's been baited to head over towards mid, throws off Molotov, goes for the crossbow, and a doubles kill coming in from him. Imi gonna miss the shot, but the shots aren't being connected either way. Robin finally gets himself one.
This is winnable.
Have FM made enough time? Have they got the bomb down? Well, it's gonna be finding its way down any second now, and there is the plant. You say it's winnable. Well, let's see, as a flash in towards A main is gonna clear things out. A quick rotate
as well.
Coming up through the CT's highway, the point of the map in question. Well, that bomb spot, well, it's going to be something ever so fruitful for FM. A double spray down, a Molotov for Robin as well. All they have to do is use their utility smartly in here and then set themselves up with a crossfire. FM, generally, they could be set for this.
Yeah, but you see the thing is, though, no flash on the T side. Luz with the AWP. All he has to do is hold this angle right now. And that could be the round over. Just putting peaks early aggressively. Luz finds one frag. It's the 1 versus 1. Robin sprays on Ezio right now. It's down to Luz versus Robin. Nerves are still, but the time on the bomb. That'll be the end of it.
You make it sound so simple. Like it's a simple choice. They don't have a flash. It's all just perfect in the air. But no, it was the crossfire, the quick aggressive push, the jump in towards A main.
Hello.
Well, that's a different way to approach it. Looks like we have a technical issue on our side, so gonna hopefully get to that one relatively soon.
Issue, that's fine. Obviously, probably gonna restart Counter-Strike to get rid of that no gun issue.
Tap the escape button. That's all it's about.
I'm pretty sure you have to restart. I'm not too sure though.
I know.
Maybe change res. Change res usually fixes
CS is a weird and wacky game. I mean, what funny bugs have you thought? That's just all the time.
Have I thought?
What's funny time?
It's gonna be a long one. This one.
This is gonna be a long day. What funny bugs have you seen in your time in Counter-Strike?
The worst one by far was the tab out smoke bug.
Oh, that was. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
By far the worst.
Because that actually affected the game, whereas the other bugs, like you get the black walls on cache, for example.
That's nothing. Just change your res and it fixes it.
Yeah, but
that's
still kind of annoying. Either way, let's bring things back down to the action. What is at hand? It is, of course, the UK Masters matchup. 3-5 is the scoreline. We are in the 9th round. The pause has been well and truly pulled on away, so hopefully straight back in the game. Here we go.
We are. Of course we're ready. Always on the ball, aren't we? So this round is now live. 3-5. FM taking that one, cements them the 2-round lead. And Neil Zenia, I mean, the economy is such a big factor in Counter-Strike, and you see the way it's working out right now for FM. But Jesp with the AWP has the better spawn. That's why it's on Lutz, and actually does win that duel. Pulse caught off guard, and now Jesp falling back towards the A side. It doesn't actually close the door. Now, the problem with this is, even though there's no T's in door, having the door open that way means that the T's can wide face onto the A bomb site. So you've got to be careful there if you are the CTs, but enough of that because it will be the late mid control coming up from FM. And I spoke about that little door thing. And now Neil Zenia is going back towards it. Let's see if Jess will continue to hold the ankle.
It's such a simple thing at heart, a door. It's just something you open and close as and when you choose to. With the impact it could have in a match of Counter-Strike, well, you've just portrayed it as one that could be ever so impactful for a team like FM, if they choose to use it, of course, whether it's going to be something in their tool belt. As for now, it is going to be them just deciding, you know what, let's rotate over. The B site yet again going to be our target. Now this has to be argued as one of the old faithfuls for FM. They've been hitting it throughout the entirety of this matchup and had a pretty solid success rate. Is the smoke going to go down in towards Connector?
Awful smoke though.
I mean, Connector seems to be just awful smokes 24/7 across the UK Masters. I don't think I've actually seen a nice Connector smoke.
But enough of that. Here comes the the B attack from the T's. Ezio towards site. Spots the play, jumping up, gets the first. Didn't get any more though. Both of those B players on the defense do fall. Jenko and Robin find both of those. 3 versus 3. No kits right now for the CT side. Lazza on the M4. This is kind of what you want though. You don't really want the AWP. And actually, they opted for the save straight away.
Imi straight off the bat, he was up towards Car and he was like, you know what, I'm done, we're out of this, we are not contesting this, boys. He makes the call and from there you see this slip-drug effect of the rest of the team deciding, you know what, we are going to pack ourselves up and move up towards A, and from there they're just going to dig themselves in, sit in those trenches and save away those rifles in the AWP of Jess, which, to be honest, let's look at economy again. That's been such a pertinent point at the start of this match. It's not a pretty spot by a long shot for either of these teams. They're all showing signs of weakness. They're all licking their wounds in the grand scheme of things. And overall, that means that a save for Endpoint, incredibly valuable with 2 rifles and AWP, because this pretty much means they're still fighting going to what will be our 10th round.
So, Imi there gave the call that I have thought, Jesp there. The call to save was based off the fact that Jesp had $4,000, and that is enough to drop the M4 over. And you can see right now it's Ezio on the SMG and actually using this gun a lot. You usually see him go towards close mid with the UMP, but obviously the B bomb site, you saw what happened there, players jumping onto him. The UMP is going to be great for that as well. But change of pace, Lazza towards B, this is different. We usually see him go towards A and holding this angle here, spots the Molotov, but he's not Molotoved off the angle. This is definitely going to be a very long day, but hopefully a short round.
It's all about the Molotov snot. It's all about the fire and the flames. As Lazza is going to be forced on back through, has to peek at the perfect moment. A flash is going to go off. Lazza ever so close.
No!
Doesn't quite land the shot, but right on the skin of his teeth, sprayed through the smoke. Stanley will drop him dead, and bit by bit, Endpoint, they will fall. Their hold on the site has been pulled right out from under them. Their grasp they had in this round, well and truly smattered away as Imi and Max welcome back to the save, as that's the game show they're on.
Endpoint's pick right now, and I mentioned as a preface before the map started that typically it's CT side, 8-7, 9-8, but strong individuals on that T side can really change the meta. And you can see the I mean, I say that, but then again, strong mollies, strong flashes, yes, Lazza got away with murder there, staying alive for as long as he did, but
I mean, what did it amount to in the end, though? Because
exactly.
He got 1 pick, which, as much as I'm all for the flare plays, the things that get us really riled up and excited, I'm looking at that and going, okay, so Lazza, he got a pick. Imi was able to get a second. But aside from that, yes, Max just got 1 in the splinter-second cell of the round on towards Jenko, but it's just that. It's that final second before we switch on through to our 11th.
Please be a tactical pause.
The value overall, it is somewhat not even somewhat, it is non-existent, because FM, they're still going to buy.
Yep.
It's still 5 rifles for them. It's still perfect utility. For Endpoint on the flip side, we're looking at a storyline that could end in a very brutal fashion. Because FM, if they keep this going on their T side, we're looking at what could be not only a 9-6, but something that builds even further.
It's a very hard call right now, if you're Imi.
I mean, what would you do in this scenario? It's a tough
Let's
one,
see,
but
who's safe? Max, Imi. Imi has 3.1k, so they can drop another M4. So we're looking at 3 rifles. Max has 2.7, so that's a FAMAS dropped. So we could be seeing 3 M4s, 1 FAMAS, and then the final player stuck with, I mean, Ezio, he's used the UMP before, but he doesn't even have enough for that.
Yeah,
2,000.
Literally,
so,
basically.
Oh, he has one of the M4s, so apologies there. It's Jesp and Lazza, let's take a look. So, yeah, pistol, but actually, it's looking like the save will come through. So, Endpoint, they're not going to roll the dice and risk the force buy on the 3 M4s with FAMAS and pistol. Instead, they're going to play it nice and safe, allow FM to, not allow FM to get to A, but not fully invest into this round and try and have a better, fix the rest of the half.
Yeah, for FM at this point, you kind of have to look at it as this is an onslaughting T-side for them. The more they put in, the more they're getting out. So Endpoint, just to almost wave a bit of a white flag for a second and just almost buy themselves an opportunity to get themselves back in the fight. You know what, it's okay, it's acceptable, because they need it. They don't want to let themselves get too far ahead in terms of their mentality, because if they do, that's when things really get worrying. Because in that regard, then it's FM kind of not only getting 8 or even 9, we could be looking at something ridiculous on the lines of 11-4.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, FM already winning the first half. 8 rounds on the board. That's more than enough you need. Such a stark contrast from Nuke. Their Nuke T side, when they played individually and not as a team. Right now, they're playing together, they're a unit, and the individual skills there, the team plays there, and it's definitely showing because...
It's just so different from Nuke, though, which I think
so
you highlighted. And my favorite part about this matchup in itself is now that it's just damage control for a CT side. Endpoint,
really
they know they have to step up. This is their time to shine. Endpoint, show us that style. Jess, well, a body bag already in the making. He's deleted from the round within just mere seconds of a face over towards B. A quick push to follow on through from the rest of the team. Jenko going to find himself another one towards Max. Khaled apparently going to be in the house. Ezio going to be in the back of that side with that M4. He's mullied off, but he's pushing him even closer, and that is the curveball. Ezio gets himself one. Now the crossfire with Laza, and this is Endpoint. This crossfire seals the deal in terms of holding down the site, because look at that bomb. If you've ever seen a man stuck before, well, that's a prime example, but the Molotov is going to burn him away nonetheless, but he still has to cross.
He needs to stay alive right now and wait for Neilzinho to make the play. If he can kill the player CT, Stanley can go into the smoke CT, and they can go back towards A, catch Laza off behind. It's actually Imi that wins that draw, and now Stanley on 23 HP, last alive, gets onto site, can get the bomb down. And Imi has an HE, is he going to throw it? I don't think he will, but there comes in 11 HP. Laza whiffing, and right now it's a 1 versus 1, but the HP is favoring Imi so much. The flash comes in. Imi is left side CT, and Stanley knows exactly where he is.
One headshot, all or nothing. Is he gonna find it? The shot isn't even fired from him. As Stanley, 6 HP. That is enough apparently for him to close things out, because FM, they just keep on going. They are a steam train that just plows on ahead. Endpoint passengers unable to get anything going. Look at their economy subs. Look at that, $2,800.
Well, most likely to be seeing double digits already for FM. And as I say that, Jenko finds Mighty Max, another first kill for him, 10-3 if this round unfolds, as it should. Jesp though, should maybe change that. As I say that, spray to the smoke, alright, BTU mate.
Full force.
10-3. Right now, Endpoint, you gotta be thinking.
They're running out of rounds, it's gotta be
It's not just that, you have to think about the pistol. Okay, if they lose their T-pistol, that could be it. We could be seeing FM already on 2, Endpoint on 1, and FM needing one more map to close this out.
We talked about how we thought this series would go. My pick was Endpoint would take this one 2-0. That's well and truly already been smashed to smithereens, but I think the biggest one now to compare to is you use the, well, much more educated guess, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, of maps. And you said it, we'd see a fight from FM, but was this really the fight you were expecting? Because we thought Cash would, yes, be a bit of a back and forth battle, but one where FM gets the double digits. And that potentially has to,
as well.
We're looking at this, we could see a 12-3.
This is Endpoint's map pick as well. This is the thing. It's just FM, they're playing very, very different to what we saw on Nuke. Maybe they've woken up. Maybe they've had a talk like, you know what, lads, we're better than these players individually. Let's play as a team. The only way Endpoint are going to win this is if they play better as a unit.
Feels like almost beating a dead horse at this point, as we find ourselves stuck over the same old storylines. Ones that have been months in the making across this league. But this is it. This is all or nothing for these teams. The maps, every single one of them, every single round means something. And you just have to look at the importance for FM. This scoreline for them pretty much screams, you know what, boys? Endpoint, they may have themselves an advantage, but it's just that. It's an advantage that we're happy to belittle on through. There's already a Molotov down over towards Boost. It is going to mean a reward of an M4 spray straight into it.
But Max showed where he was, okay? He shows that he's close mid, and that means that the T's can get quite aggressive towards A main, because there's maybe not expecting a player highway, and if there is a player highway, they know that there's only one player on site, and that will be Laza with the AWP. Hopefully, we shall see flashes from the T side, and is that straight through the smoke? Pulse. I just look to my right. I look at my right screen. Listen. I look at my right screen. Pulse is just tapping through smoke. Destroys Ezio through it, and right now it's all down to Laza on this A bomb site. He needs to find multiple kills. If there's any chance of Endpoint to claw this one back, or we could be looking at 11-3. Let's see what happens now. Already out squeaky close to him. Why he's stuck at an 18 grenade? They're already so close to you. Read scopes now. Here it comes.
You don't need to drop that nade. That's a mistake in itself now, as Laza falls back over towards wall, looking for the shot, finds it on towards Pulse. It may be one, but one is not quite two, because that is what Jenko and Neil will combine to find Max, one of his own on towards Robin, and bit by bit that bomb will tick on down. FM securing practically this one because Imi and Max, they're an impossible retake. This is so damn tough as Max comes flying up through highway, but slows it right down at Toxic Barrels.
Save.
But what can he achieve? He's being held by an orb. Imi gonna collateral straight onto Wozhenko, straight through the wall. But another has to be found. Imi, he's trying so hard. He's putting us all into this. But the shots, they're not quite landing. The time is still on ticking.
No
but
way.
Max finds another. How are they making this work? How are Endpoint getting close? They find the headshot. Do they have the time?
Are you alright?
What have I just watched? What is this? I'm done. I'm going over here, boys.
Hello, stream. 4-10. After that, such a clutch round. I gave the call to save because at not two, but an AWP on the retake, 2 versus 3 retake, right? FM in such strong after-plant positions, an AWP on Imi, but somehow they pull through, and that one round could really be the round.
They should never have been able to retake that.
Never. How was Imi out-peaked Jenko? Oh my goodness, right now the momentum is carrying forward. Imi now refacing through the smoke. He smoked off, nades come flying in. Can he get any more of those? 2 HP, dies to the molly and will burn. And now Stanley, that's an awful B main smoke, but that might work out for the T's. But what might not work for the T's though is Jess on the speed bomb site, holding that angle underneath Heaven. But actually the reboost into mid, this is going to catch the T's off guard. Mighty Max, he needs to find a kill here, finds one. And the bomb, and that's all that matters. Ezio as well, leaving B, rotating back towards mid. And this is where things get so difficult for the T's. Are you ready to cast again,
What
mate?
can I say?
Good?
UKCS, it gets me excited. It seems as my voice is certainly going to be a little bit painful off the back of that. Goddamn, Endpoint. You could have just made it happen as Jesper's going to find one on towards Pulse. And from there, it leaves Neil and Stanley in a bit of a predicament. The 2v4. 50 seconds coming up on the clock. Neil going to be looking for the shot, but you know, we're not going to quite go full Moses. We're not going to say FM can't do this because we've learned that lesson. Because apparently they can. As Jess is going to be looking to make it work over towards the back of their site. They're a crossfire well and truly in the making. Point as they go straight on towards the head of Stanley.
That's crisp.
Neil is going to fight on back, but crisp, as you say, will be Ezio's second pick on towards Neil in return, which secures the 10-5 half.
I mentioned that one round could be the difference maker. That one retake could change everything right now, going especially into this pistol round because momentum is in favor of Endpoint. 5 rounds for them, 10 for FM, and on their CT side, that's usually where you get more of the rounds, the majority even. But
can we purge the retake from the memory just to interject? I don't want to talk about that anymore because that's generally a horror story for me.
why is that?
It's just not okay. Certain things should just not happen, and that's one of them.
Look, mate, I loved it, and that's what that matters. Anyway, pushing through mid now. Robin
straight
has the first through the smoke. Pulse as well, and a second for him. And Stanley cleaning it up nice and easy. I mentioned this was such an important pistol round. And doesn't really look like Endpoint are playing like that.
Yeah, that was pretty much a giant slap from FM, just right into the face of Endpoint, saying, hey, if you're not awake, now you pretty much should be, because the scoreline is 11-5. The economy sits well and truly into the court of that CT side, and Endpoint...
Pause. What's this for?
A pause? I don't think it's of a tactical nature.
It's going to be technical, yeah, hopefully. Hopefully not too long.
But I think for Endpoint, at this point, a pause, no matter what it may be, it's great for them, because they need to decide and make some big decisions on how they're going to approach this round.
Apparently he's fine now. Wait. He says he's fine. They're ready now. Okay. We don't have to pan back to our beautiful faces just yet.
Mate, my face is a tired and worn out through, it seems.
He went bright red as well.
Mate, that was...
You were so into that moment. I couldn't believe it.
I was right into that. It was a very emotional
I was waiting for you to stop and let me just like, you know, budge
slide
in
on
there.
in with the low calmness.
No. I would have kept the hype going. It's more the fact that just let me get in that round
Just
as well.
staring at the monitor, man. That was great.
Yeah.
Good time.
Anyway, though, fair play to you, lad. 5-11. Pistol going in favour of FM. And now if they can carry a four... Not a force spike coming from Endpoint. They didn't get the bomb down. 1.2...
That's a tag and a half.
Jess was lucky to stay alive, but Robin refaces and tears his head off for the second and final time. Looking like a pretty clean round, and very interesting that the Endpoint go for the save. I mean, 800 on Jesp, only a Deagle, no armor, right? Imi, 1.2k, Lazza, 1.2k, and a force buy from Ezio and Max, right? If you're 5-11 down, you need to get rounds. There's obviously a game plan here from Imi. He's got an idea of what strat he wants. Molotovs, flashes, and an AWP on Lazza. But Max does find the head of Jenko in mid. And that will slow the pace of the round. Lazza, not quite as fortunate as that. Does fall, and now the A-bomb site is Endpoint. So if they get the bomb down here, this is so good because that means more utility, the merrier.
have to look towards Stanley and Robin, though, in regards to that bomb plant, because they're actually already beginning their retake. The bomb still not even being almost begin to be placed. Finally, he's going to go down the push. Going to roll in from Stanley. But within the nick of time, Max will make it work and gets a quick pick and return as well with the Deagle. But still going to be pushed in nonetheless. Now, the value from that round wasn't any of the frags, really. It was that bomb plant.
Yep. So leading into this next round, once the bomb is defused. So they can even buy into this one. Observer, if we can take a look at the cash. Actually, it's going to show up anyway, it doesn't really matter, but...
Series. Nonetheless, let's drop all that aside. Let's look back towards this 18th round, as here we go. It is, of course, a 12-5 score, and we've well and truly battered that one home. As the Molotov going to find its way on top of Boost. Endpoint going to look to perch their way right into this A site with a 3-man stack over towards Squeaky, looking to try and get Ezio warmed up in towards A main, but it could be a tough task. Stanley already going to open things up. A quick headshot for him. Laza and Jenko will respond. But this is a bloody affair where FM are taking control.
So I mentioned the force by coming up from the Endpoint side, but right now it's definitely not playing out for them. Jenko as well towards the MBK area will fall, and now we're in a 2 versus 3. Low HP on Jesp, low HP on Robin though. And that Molly will hold Jesp off just a little bit towards Squeaky. Robin going in for the rotate back behind them. They might not expect this.
They might well not expect it, but sometimes expectance is not the be-all end-all of life. If the bomb is going to find its way back down on towards that A site any second now, which there you have it. Max now going to be sitting over towards Quad, and it's intriguing to see where these afterplants are going to go, but apparently Jesp is not allowed. He's blacklisted from getting into an afterplant. That's Ney going to land right at his feet. Max now left in a 1v3, and this is not a situation that you want to be in as he faces towards Car and the one position that is effectively a double peak for FM, the perfect scenario for them. As Endpoint play right into their hands, it is a bomb plant.
So,
economics for Endpoint
don't want
don't change too much.
Toot my own horn here, but I did call the force buy and the Tech 9 out of Squeaky and the A contact, right? Problem is...
Imi has always said that you've at times thought one step ahead of him. Back at the studio, that was a very common affair.
It is what it is though, but enough of that. Pushing out through Squeaky with the Tech 9, right? That's fine, that's fair game. Jenko is usually the A player with the AWP. This time he has a rifle, and he just tears the heads off of those Endpoint players that push out. Probably should have seen a bit more utility there. Obviously the force buy came through, but that player with the Tech 9, he needs to have a flashbang for him. There needs to be flash utility to allow him to get onto the site, swarm it, and try and find that first frag.
Certainly should be the case as Jesp and Co look to pretty much barrage their way through on towards this B site. Smokes, well, no object to them as they are just going to keep on going. And if he gets in towards CT, that could be interesting. Neil doesn't even realize there's a player on a headshot. Jesp let alone in towards CT with the Deagle, unable to land the shots. Does some damage though on towards Jenko, knocks him down to 53, but it's still a CT slide, creating one hell of a bloodbath as Max finds one for his troubles, but one that is still an uncomfortable affair.
Bomb is down. Deagle in hand. Is he going to get one frag? No, he can't. Does fall. Did get a frag earlier on, but looking at the scoreboard as well, if we can get the scoreboard up, please, Observer. 17-14. Good showing here from Max, but it seems like it's always him last alive in these 1 versus 3 miracle situations. It needs to be... There needs to be help and support from his team. If your teammates aren't fragging, that's fine. Flash and support the players that are playing well. Right now, Endpoint are showing a similar affair to what we saw FM do on Nuke.
I certainly can agree with that, of course. At this point, you just have to look at where on the line the Endpoint slot themselves in, and where does it become just too much of a scoreline for them to begin contemplating a fight. Because this is 14-5. This is effectively a stop, if we're honest with ourselves, Nods. FM, they have glided on through cash. We're going into what will be their map pick in this next map. FM eSports, they're ever so close to potentially making this one work and get themselves a win and become the champions of the UK Masters. You wouldn't have thought it, if we're honest. None of the predictions from anyone pretty much claim them as the the victors.
What, FM?
So to speak. Yeah.
Are you crazy?
But for now, I'm talking overall.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought FM was the best team in this season.
I'm talking a lot of people, at least from what I've spoken to, a lot of the people predicted that Endpoint
Going
would take
into
this one.
Yeah, you know
for
what?
This match.
You're right.
You completely, I was like, whoa, hold on for a second, because a lot of the people you've spoken to are land.
They look like a deer in headlights. Like, did I say something wrong? Anyway,
what?
FM going into after the semi-finals, Endpoint 2-0ing FM. A lot of people did lose a bit of trust in FM, but throughout the whole season, FM definitely showed us the best performance. Kaz going 14-1, but they didn't quite show it once they did play versus FM, final week of the season. But Pulse now towards the vent area, could backstab, just catches him off guard. 2 early frags now for Endpoint. Is the comeback possible? And actually sprayed through the wall, doesn't quite net the kill, but damage done both ways. Jenko somehow, he's wormed himself. Oh, he whiffs it, jumps up. Why are you jumping? Hide behind the box, mate. Imi finds him, Jenko falls. 2 versus 5, just save.
Certainly a different approach, but you know what? I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, you know. This is just one round. It's still a long slug back. And going back to that point, I think as much as FM did lose faith, yes, they're a talented team, but
Very.
you know, I am looking at Endpoint as a roster and saying that as much as they may not be individually as skilled as the same players in a direct comparison, as a team, when they're playing as a 5, they're playing with actual structure behind them. I do think they're the better team, and that has been an opinion that has been somewhat resonated across a fair few people now. That's why, you know, when we come into this, when we look at this specific series, we look at the finals of the UK Masters, it was 2 0s, it was 2 1s, but it was never, okay, FM, they're going to take it to the full 5 maps and they're going to get themselves a win.
Predictions going into this were obviously Endpoint are either going to 2-0 with the map lead, or FM might pull up that 3-map win. But right now, Flash comes in, just with 1, can he find any more? Yes, he can! The early push towards B goes right in favor of Endpoint. Finger-licking crispy aim there from the Colonel himself. Gotta think, change your avatar, mate.
Ah, man, all about the love for the Colonel.
Fair play.
Yeah, just making it happen, showing some love. Of course, a great start for Endpoint going into things. The 21st round, looking to at least start to streak things together, of course. If you're going to make a comeback, a streak, well, pretty much the only way you can do it at a scoreline that consists of your opposition being on 14 is the minute FM get to 15, all lifeline is lost. Endpoint, they have to win every single round perfectly. So they are at least in a position where they have something to toy with, and of course, economy as well, looking to be something they want to build into. But overall, it's just about them keeping it going, as Robin looks to try and shut them down and pick on towards Jeff. The spray down potential from Jenko was certainly there, but makes a bit of a mess of things.
Holding the line, can he get any frags? Sprays, point, connect it! And Wolf 4, now it's Stanley the 1 versus 2, but he's behind these players. Loves the off guard, does fall. Imi is low HP as well. Ezio, the only player with 100 HP, if Stanley can find him towards headshot, we could be seeing a 1 versus 3 here unfold in front of our eyes. Jumps on top, there he gets the kill, and now it's Imi. 6 HP, 1 bullet, can he get the crisp 1 tap onto Stanley? Sprays him down the 1 versus 3, FM match point.
Don't need no crispy 1 taps when you have yourself an arm and a leg, as that's all Stanley needed. Just Imi ever so low. If anything could hit him in any part of the body, and his life was done and dusted. As we talked about just how important it was for FM to get onto 15 and how that was such a negative point of view for Endpoint. Well, here you have it, 15-6. Endpoint, it's time to bring out perfection if you want to make this comeback happen.
Good flash there as well. Once Ezio's flashed, he gets away from headshot, jumps onto the default area. Stanley jumps up onto the pit area, catches Ezio off guard with that nice, snappy headshot. And then Imi with 6 HP, what can you do really in that situation? But enough of that, still 2 full buys on either side here. 16-5, match point. FM, 2-1 right now, potentially. What it's looking like to be a 2-1 lead. 1 more map for them. Endpoint need to find 2 more maps out of Overpass or Mirage, but this new T side that we saw from FM, Mirage can even go in the favor of them as well.
It's just so much on the revitalized side, and you talk about Cash, you talk about Mirage. 2 maps that are very similar in an approach to playstyles. You can see AIM have such a huge factor in the start of Mirage on the T side. Even on the CT side, if you're hitting your shots and you can do calculated aggression with the rest of the team behind you across the map, you're still looking at a very strong start that is, you know, on the cards. So by all means, anything could happen, but
yeah,
right now,
anything can happen.
Good stuff.
Dropping out of vent, he does fall. Pulse now with the op. Can he find 1 or 2 frags? Do they expect the 3rd player towards B? This is a good read from FM. Holding that beam in area. Unscopes, refaces though, and now the Molly comes in. He needs to find 1 or 2 kills. Where's Jake going to find 1? Pulse gets 1 as well. Refacing, can he get any more? Yes, he can. The flick lands, and now it's going to be 16-6. FM 2, Endpoint 1. Match point, series point, everything point for FM.